right, welcome to the third game of the evening. Up this time is Tales from the Dragon Mountain 2, The Lair. In this hidden object puzzle adventure, you will travel between the regions of the Dragon Mountains through a network of forgotten ancient portals, meet different characters along your journey and help them and have them help you. Spirits are restless. Dark shadows are rising once again, for he has awakened. It has been years since Mina defeated the evil Lord Strix. Then there was peace for all the creatures of the Dragon Mountains, but something's strange again. She can feel it in her veins. It is once again up to Mina and her best friend, the spirit Malik, to travel the distant parts of the world and find clues how to open the passage to the hidden wasteland, Lord Strix's lair, in order to stop him once and for all. So yeah, this is very clearly the sequel to the game we just covered in the last review, literally the last review, going in order and recording sequence. I know these don't get uploaded to YouTube at the same cadence because the run times, that's how that upload schedule goes. And I don't care enough to make sure they're all in order, since YouTube is mainly storage or backup storage. But anyway, so the Golics had this one. So over to him for his insight to the sequel to The Strix.
So yeah, as with the last few Ocean Games ones I've done, it's not a hidden object game in that you are given a bunch of screens with a bunch of nonsense scattered around and you have to pick semi-randomly associated nonsense. Instead, it's more or less an adventure game where you pick things up and use them in the appropriate places. Just the stuff you pick up is generally hidden about as well as in a hidden object game, which sometimes makes it really aggravating to find. And between that and the fact that sometimes it's not immediately obvious what area you're supposed to be on, was the main reasons why I immediately changed the hints and the sparkle interactive area things to the fastest settings possible, because otherwise I would have been staring at screens trying to figure out what the fuck was clickable for hours, like apparently Pettyfan did. So yeah, you're back in apparently the Dragon Mountains, which I did not get any clarification on what they are from the previous game, so... But yeah, it's you and this green goblin-looking guy, and you, Mina, and Malik have voice acting, and I kind of wish you didn't, as do all of the other. So yeah, anyway, Lord Strix is coming back, and you have to basically, after a short initial thing, you have to go through a bunch of places and help out a bunch of your old wizard friends, before they'll give you the keys you need to unlock the portal to go to Strix's lair, and then fight him. And again, at the end, there is another battle. And as with the one with the, I can't even remember the name and don't care that much, the one with the druids, the final, there is a battle that is a match 3 puzzler at the end. But yeah, you're just going around, picking up objects and trying to figure out what puzzles to use them in. There's no in-inventory combining, which would have been nice to have. Instead, you have to find the thing you need to use them on, and when you click on that, it brings up a wheel with a bunch of sockets for you to slot all the items into. Which can be kind of important because there are times at which you are going to have more things in your inventory than one screen has use for, and then you are going to need to swap back and forth between them, which requires clicking and dragging, which does not work well with the stick and trigger interface. I play tabletop, so I was able to use my finger for that. I don't think it would work well in TV mode.
Hmm.
Exacerbating the occasional, like when you don't have direction, you can click on the hint button and it'll show you to go to a different screen, and that does not cost you a hint charge, which is good. But sometimes when you have multiple objectives active at once, it gets a little bit mixed up and wants you to stay at a place that isn't necessarily where you get the thing you think you're looking for. It's for something else. This game has quite a few mini-game puzzles. The one that gave me the most trouble here is there were very early a series of 3 block escape games where you have to get a certain colored block out of a sliding puzzle full of other blocks. A lot of the time this is done with traffic, cars, and stuff in real life when you have that kind of puzzle. I had to actually skip one of those because I could not solve it. So that was annoying. Also, to give you an idea of the way that the fetch things is, you have to find the block that you have to get to escape from the puzzle and install it into the puzzle before you can then try to remove it from the puzzle, which did kind of make me think, well, why can't I just shove it into the slot at the end? But that's not how it works, I guess. But yeah, exacerbating the lack of direction. Near the end of the game, you have activated a portal and blown up a blocked passage and now have access to pretty much all of the previous areas in the game at once. So sometimes that is a lot of area, including once you're in the lair, you may have to go back a couple of times to find things if you forgot them. There are also some objectives that are, there's a collect the little dragon statues thing that it seems to be completely optional. There are some objectives I could not complete because I missed picking up the thing that you used to do them before the end of the game. There's one of the things that's like in one of the last rooms and then you have to go back and do it. But it was just for one of those dragon statues. I think that's just for achievements and stuff, which are just in game. Yeah, a lot of it is just navigating between puzzles, but again, most of the puzzles are like actual puzzles. There are a couple of ones where you gain information on one screen and have to use it on another screen, and for most of those, it either brings up that information on the screen you need to use it on, or it's in your journal and you can look at it even while you're in the puzzle. So that was good. But yeah, over like for one of these games, it's not bad, but a little bit of minus points for the lack of direction. But again, that's not a high bar. These kind of games are not great. But like at least I had a thing I was doing. I did feel like I would have maybe gotten a little more out of it if I'd known what the fuck the plot of the first one was, and I don't still. Because this does kind of call back to the fact that you have fought this guy before, and spoilers, we'll fight this guy again. And like I don't know if any of the other characters are recurring from the previous one, or like I kind of assumed the old wizard guy was, but I'm not sure. And because it's been a week, I don't even remember his name. So yeah, what's the damage price wise on this one?
Unlike the previous game, it's going for $10, though it is on deep sale on the Nintendo Switch for $2.
For
And let me
$2, if you're into this kind of adventure game and don't mind probably having to rely on the hints, there is a achievement for finishing the game without hints, but you can like do that on the second playthrough. I don't know.
And let's see, the Steam version is $6.99.
6 or 7 is, I don't know, maybe okay for the amount of time and stuff I got out of this.
Mm.
And yeah, if the previous one didn't have any CG videos, then I guess this technically has higher production values.
Are
but
you
like
sure?
But not necessarily in a way that makes it like a better game.
I literally saw the dude sliding while he was walking in the first part of that CG trailer.
Uh-huh.
And this game came out in 2014. It has CG that looks worse than some of the shit we saw in the late 90s.
Yeah, like I said, I guess technically maybe it's higher production values, but they're not good CG, so...
Oh yeah, no. So I guess we're done here?
That's about... The music is mediocre. And I didn't have it up that high for most of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all.
All right. So, yeah, I guess that'll about do it for Tales of the Dragon Mountain 2, The Lair. Anyway, be sure to tune in after the break, as I will be giving my impressions of The Dark Heart of Balor.